Hi everyone, and welcome to this tutorial, and this is a Halloween special, and I'm going to draw the Black Widow. Now what I found in my cupboard was this Lyra Rembrandt Polycolor box of all kinds of grey, and I forgot I had it, and I bought this in Prague when I was at the capital city of Czechoslovakia. And I thought, well, that would be nice to test them out on a grey Canson pastel paper. And as you can see, there are all kinds of grey and hardnesses in this box. So, an excellent way to test them out. Now, in this Black Widow, there are also a little bit of colors going on. A little bit of blue for the shadow side of the black. So, for this, I'm going to use my Koh-i-Noor standard colored paper, color pencils, together with the Lyras, which are also greasy color pencils, so I can combine them easily. And this is the setup sketch that I made on my Patreon page, so you can find that there and print it out if you need the help and use and the measurements, of course. Here on YouTube I will do a quick version, but on my Patreon page I have a very detailed explanation tutorial about setting up this spider. And what is very important is that center line, and that is very helpful indeed to get your spider going and getting that on paper. So here at 7.5 centimeters I draw in that center line, and well, actually this is enough for me to start drawing this spider by the use of a light blue color pencil. Now this drawing can be made just as easily on white paper with the standard graphite pencils if you want. The setup will be exactly the same, so no problem at all. And here I'm drawing in the back of the body, which is quite pointed at the end, so that's important. And then you have all those legs going on. And what is very important when you draw in those legs is that you keep notice of what leg is in front of the other. Otherwise your drawing will not be correct. If you mess the legs up, then your viewer will get confused. So keep close notice of those legs. Now here's the right hind leg. So I have to make sure that that's all correct, that they go not go through each other, if I'm making any sense. And then I will put in the 3 hind legs on the left side. So this one I have to stop here because the other leg will be in front of that second leg, as you see now. So make sure that that is correct too. And you can make the front paws as long as you want, depending on how close you are to the spider itself. The closer you get to the spider, the longer the front legs will appear to be. In this sketch I will make them a little bit shorter than in the setup sketch, but that's all free for you to decide what you want and how much 3D effect you want to achieve in the end. Now this is the last leg on the left side, and that's just as high as the body itself. So this is about how I want to draw it. Now the setup spider itself I made with a Staedtler, and then the shadow I've drawn in with the graphite pencil. Now here I'm using that light blue color pencil, but to draw in the shadow part that is going to be underneath our spider, I will use a light gray. Now actually all you have to do is to start drawing in that shadow from the legs and then inwards toward the center. In the meantime, I'm getting rid of my little helper lines. And here you can see that the sun will be right above our spider. So the shadow will be directly underneath our spider. And I love that shadow. I wanted to draw that in because this gives a great feel of 3D effect. And I wanted, of course, that special Halloween effect. So I simply made that up, but I think it's working. And once you have the lines of your spider standing there and you have the shadow underneath it, then it's time to start drawing in detail. Now these are those little paws that are just in front of the mouth. And furthermore, I'm using my black color pencil to draw in those little tiny hairs that are on the legs of the spider. Now with those tiny little hairs, they can feel every little movement and they can attack flies and all that insects that they are eating. And I'm not sure what black widows eat. Maybe even mice and stuff. I will check that out. But I must say I do not have a phobia for spiders, but I do. They scare me a lot. And the other day there was a spider, and you can actually hear that one tripping on the floor. I can hear those little tapping of the feet, and I got so scared. So I don't kill spiders. I know they are very, very useful in nature. But I do make sure that they go outside. So I take a cup and a little piece of paper and then I throw them out, because otherwise I do not sleep very nice. Okay. For the back of the leg, I'm using the softer black. And the softer black is a little bit darker than the hard black. There are two kinds of black in this Lyra box of pencils. So that's very useful. And as you can see, I get some all kinds of gray going on here. And black. And what I also do is making sure that the shadow parts that are close to the tip of the feet are a little bit darker than the actual shadow that is underneath the spider. Then I take a little bit of dark blue. Dark blue is a very, very nice shadow color for black. And in black, and especially when it's hit by the sun, there is a lot of blue in it. Now there's also a little bit of red on the back of the body of the Black Widow, so I put that in too. And then I take my white color pencil, and with this I draw in some highlights, especially here on the back of the body, which is quite shiny, so I need that white tip there. What you can also do is use a little bit of a Staedtler fineliner, of course, to draw in the hairs, but I do not want to do that too much because I want to keep this a pencil drawing, so not too much ink in it. And what is also very nice is to draw in the surroundings, so the surface that the spider is walking on. Make that a little bit lighter. Now the effect by drawing in a little bit of white around that spider is that the 3D effect even gets a little bit better, and you can make the shadow stand out better. So I think that's a very nice effect, but I'm also noticing that I am getting a little bit scared now to put my hand on that spider. But I simply try to draw as long as I can, but I'm getting a little bit anxious now and a little bit scared. I will put in a little bit more black, because indeed it is a black widow after all. But I do not like touching this drawing anymore, so I'll just see how far I will get. But the white surrounding is quite a nice effect, I think. I will put in a little bit more darkness just for that shadow underneath the spider. But I also think it's kind of neat to make the background a little bit darker too, in the same gradients as the shadow which is underneath the spider. I think that this makes him or her, it's a black widow, this makes her pop out even better. Okay, now let's see if I can use the blender stick on this material. Well, it works a little bit, but as standard with the color pencils, it's very hard to blend them into the paper. It works a little bit though. Okay, well, I've had enough of this. I'm not very fond of spiders, so I wish you all the luck with this Halloween drawing. You can check out my Patreon page, of course, too, if you want a full tutorial about this. And if you like this drawing, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you again next Friday.